Well, short resume, not too many titles. It means a businessman in government. Okay, not too many honors. Uh, well, thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor also to share this evening with Presidente Palacios. As soon as we start, have the honor to have a conversation. Later on, we found a lot of common threads in our thinking and also a lot of common friends. Because Latin America is a big place, but it's also a small place. And the brotherhood is shared with you people that are really interested what is happening there and the future of the region and the role that each country can play in the future of Latin America. So thank you very much for the invitation, and the Panamanian Embassy, also the Panamanian Ambassador, for the invitation. Latin America is now a real hot spot, and Panama is in the middle of it. This year, the region economy as a whole will expand by more than 5%. Never before so many positive factors coincide to support the region, and all this favors Panama as the premier regional business hub. Of course, growing markets translate into great opportunities for European business. This is the Latin American decade, and Panama is the natural platform for business who wants to benefit from the growth and expansion that is taking place there. According to 2010 World Economic Forum Global Competitiveness Report, Panama is the second most competitive economy in Latin America, after Chile. Basically, I'm quoting the report, Panama posed one of the largest improvements in the region, thanks in large part to a more positive assessment on infrastructure quality, increased macroeconomic stability, and technological readiness. This reflects the country's recent important investment in upgrading its infrastructure, its sound macroeconomics management in recent time of crisis, its prowess in absorbing technology, and its increase in information and communication technology penetration rates. The country also continues to benefit from the well-developed financial markets. Allow me to show you some figures. Quality of port infrastructure. According to the World Economic Forum, Panama is 11 in the world. It means also the first in Latin America or even in the Western Hemisphere. Affordability of financial services, Panama, number 4. Soundness of banks, number 7. FDI and technology transfer, number 7. Business impact on rules on FDI, number 11. I'm so proud to tell this, but Panama is the only country in the Western Hemisphere offering 2 major platforms for your business at the same time. First, our service platform based on connectivity, financial services, solid macroeconomic grounds and stability, and second, our logistic platform based in Panama logistic assets and the Panama Canal. This map, hey, there's something missing here. Well, Panama ports are connected through the Panama Canal and have daily vessels on the regular basis. Panama is also invest in new communications IT technology, so the country has first-class fiber optic links connecting in every direction. Panama is a stable democracy, safe, and friendly to foreigners. Panama is a sophisticated city with first-class communication infrastructure and global financial services. For executives and their families, Panama is the best city to live in the region. There's a wide selection of fine neighborhoods for residents, modern shopping malls, fine dining, international schools, and the best healthcare system in Latin America. Plenty to do. It's for this reason that so many major international firms now have base in Panama. This slide just gives you a feel for many global corporations that are now established in Panama. Of course, Germany is well represented in Panama too. Here's just a few of the German business already operating there. So you can see if you want to decide invest in Panama, you will be in good company. Now, I'm going to briefly describe the 6 key assets that makes Panama, our logistic network, so good. The first of this is, of course, the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is the cornerstone of our logistic development, serving over 14,000 ships annually throughout over 144 shipping routes to 80 countries worldwide, providing a safe, reliable, and efficient service. The Panama Canal expansion project will double the capacity of the canal through the construction of a third set of locks. The estimated cost of the Panama Canal expansion is around $5.3 billion. When complete in 2014, the new capacity will allow post-Panamax vessels to transit across the waterway. Just to give you an idea of how the vessel size have changed over the years, the pictures to the left date back on 1914, and the ones at the right shows the vessels that transit today. There is only a distance of 2 feet between the vessel sides and the locks chambers. This definitely puts pressure on the use of resources needed to perform the transit. The main limitation that the canal places on shipping is the dimension of the locks. The expanded canal will allow the transit of larger and bigger vessels with a beam of 19 meters and a draft of 49 meters and a draft of 15 meters. Currently, the bigger container ship that can transit the locks can carry 4,400 TEUs. With the new canal, they will be able to carry 12,600 TEU and more. Even there are some new vessels talking about 14,000 TEUs. The main project components include the construction of a new locks with water-saving basins in the Atlantic and the Pacific, the deepening of canal entrance in the Atlantic and the Pacific, the creation of a 6.4 kilometer channel that will join the new Pacific locks with the Kailar Cut, the deepening of the Gatun and Culebra Cut navigational channels, and the work to increase maximum operating level of Gatun lakes. This is a rendering of how the new locks in the Pacific will look like. The new locks in the Atlantic will be located in the place highlighted in yellow, where the United States was planning to build a third set of locks in 1936, but had to cancel the project when it got involved in World War II. This is the rendering how it's going to look. The next key feature of our logistic network is our world-class port infrastructure. In the past 10 years, Panama has become one of the major global players from the point of view of connectivity. Every year, an increasingly number of shipping lines are coming to Panama in order to establish or expand their transshipment services, which result in an expansion of the whole port system. Panama has 52 container cranes. 18 of them are Panamax, 30 are for post-Panamax, and 4 are super post-Panamax. Panama has 29% of all the container cranes in Latin America. Just to give you an idea, Brazil only has 33 container cranes. So you can have an idea about the port system we do have and why the rating of the World Economic Forum. This next sequence of image will show you 4 of the great port facilities we have and the one is coming. It's also very important to accomplish that the Panama Canal is fully handled by Panamanians, 100%, from the CEO, from all the levels of the operation. But at the same time, the model in the port is exactly the opposite. The ports are handled by 3 of the top 10 operators, port operators in the world. So you can share the two business models. One fully handled by Panamanian, the other one finding the right partners. The third port is the Colón Container Terminal, which is a subsidiary of Evergreen Group from Taiwan, which provides facilities handling containers, general cargo, and rolling stock. In 2010, Colón Container Terminal moved a total of 500,000 TEUs, representing 16.1% increase against 2009. Panama Ports, Cristobal, a Hutchinson port and a subsidiary of the multinational conglomerate Hutchinson Whampoa Limited, moved a total number of 600 TEUs in 2010, representing a 94% increase against 2009. Panama Ports Company started the process of transforming the quays and adapting them to the new world trade operations. The expansion of the Port of Cristobal will offer its customer 2 new granted cranes, providing an installed capacity of 1.5 million TEUs. The other port in the Atlantic side is the MIT, a USA Carrick's port facilities, which allows shippers to establish multi-country distribution point in Panama to the Caribbean and South American markets. MIT serves multinational companies by providing, and this is very important, commercial facilities to cargo, sorting, grading, packing, and repacking, labeling, storage, transit, and assembly. MIT transported in 2010 a total of 1.5 million TEUs, representing an increase of 13.8%. The Port of Balboa, in the Pacific side, registered the biggest amount of container movement in 2010, with a total of 2.7 million TEUs, representing a 37% increase against 2009. The national port system moved 5.5 million TEUs in 2009, 31% more than 2009, and its ambitious plan to increase their capacity to 7 million TEUs before the ending of the Panama Canal expansion by 2014. And a new port is coming in the Pacific side, in the Pacific entrance of the canal, is the PSA, Port of Singapore International Terminal, 500,000 TEUs, with a 70 million investment and 20 years concession. Following the expansion of the Panama Canal and the development of Panama hub ports, the entire shipping system in the region may be transformed. The emerging system will be based on the intersection of east and west and north and south services in a radiating fashion similar to that common in air services. Next, let me explain a little about Colón Free Zone. Colón Free Zone is a warehousing and distribution center that is the second largest free zone in the world after Hong Kong, covering almost 700 hectares of showrooms and warehouses and reaching over $21 billion revenues last year, 2010. Colón Free Zone has strong trading links with the global production facilities and regional markets. Additionally, the Panama Canal Railroad provides an efficient transshipment service between Atlantic and Pacific ports and complements the existing transportation infrastructure provided by the canal, moving containers from port to port in the Pacific and in the Atlantic without touching the tax territory. Panama is the only place in the world where it's possible to transship containers in bond from Atlantic to Pacific in a couple of hours. Basically, it's a free zone on rails. The next component is our international airport. According to the international IATA, the International Air Travel Association, Panama has the highest connectivity in the Americas. Tocumen International Airport offers services flying to 57 destinations and serving over 5 million passengers per year. Tocumen Airport has shown a heavy increase in passenger movements during the last 5 years, forecasting 14 million to the year 2025. In order to follow airline hub exponential growth, Tocumen International Airport Master Plan contemplates 5 phases until 2030. This is the phase 1. This is the actual phase, the phase 2 that will be finalized by mid this year, adding the North Concourse to the operation, the phase 3 to 2012, next year, phase 4, and phase 5. Alongside these new airport facilities, we are planning a new airport business-related business park. This computer-generated image will give you a feel for what is proposed and how the area may look in a few years' time. Okay, just give me a couple of minutes more. Let me finalize with the next and final element of our strategy of logistic assets. That is special economic areas. The biggest of this is, of course, the whole new city we are developing with London and Regional under the title of Panama Pacifico. Panama Pacifico, located just 15 minutes from downtown Panama City, is transforming the former Howard U.S. Air Force Base into a master planned community with business parks, new residents, and community amenities. I'm trying to find a pointer. So you can see the airport, the former U.S. Base Airport, and then it's the Panama City, and then the Panama Canal. Panama Pacifico is located on the Pacific Ocean, close to the Panama Canal, and provides home and office location as well as an efficient distribution hub to serve Central America, the Caribbean, North and South America, and the world beyond. Panama Pacifico offers building to international development standards, superior tax and regulatory incentive compared to other Latin American locations, world-class business parks with access to advanced communications, state-of-the-art logistics and manufacturing facilities, new residential communities in a variety of styles, and is able to accommodate business growth and expansion. These are some of the few companies are already installed in Panama Pacifico, which is quite a new development. The question is, are we capable to follow the trend? Do we have the resources? Do we have the fiscal responsibility? Do we have a government committed with the plan of make the Panama a business hub? Well, Panama, we do have a government strategic plan will serve as a roadmap for the execution of social and economic projects for the next 5 years. 4 sectors of the economy has been identified as a growth drivers, given their potential impacts on GDP growth and job creation. These sectors are logistics services that I just mentioned, tourism, that's why we are here also in ITV, agricultural exports, very important to spread the richness across the country and to touch the most needed people, as well, and financial services. We do have a long tradition using the US dollar as a currency and a very complex and sophisticated banking system following international standards and regulations. To stimulate the development of these sectors, an investment plan of $13.6 billion in social and infrastructure program has been designed. The Presidente Martinelli administration has initiated a $5.8 billion infrastructure program that seeks not only to enhance the logistic capabilities, allocating new investment. This is some of the new programs we are developing. I'm going to bore you with this. But the most important, we launched this $13.6 billion program in December 2009. And then we got investment grade qualification from Fitch, Standard & Poor's, and Moody's, because we were able to demonstrate that our policies are sustainable, based in resources that we can get from the new fiscal reform we made, and the program has a 5 years financial allocation that guarantee the resources. El desafío, the challenge is to do it, okay? And that's we are so committed to do that. I knew at the beginning of the presentation you said this guy is talking about Panama and Panama, but we are so proud that we have in that little country, because this is the right moment. We have been involved in this business for 500 years. 500 years ago, we moved the silver and the gold from Peru, and we used Panama as a logistic platform. We dropped the cargo, the silver, then we accommodate, we made the repacking. Then by mules, we moved the cargo through the isthmus to the Pacific side, to the Atlantic side, and then we send the goods to Spain. 300 years later, we built up a railroad to move the U.S. Seekers for gold during the gold rush to moving from the east to the west of the United States. Now, in the same railroad, then we build up the canal. Exactly the same path. The same path that the mule used is the same path that the railroad used, and the same path where the Panama Canal is now. And now we are doing the expansion. We are doing exactly the opposite. We are moving vessels from the west to the east of the United States. But the point is that never before a government elevate all these capacities to a política de Estado. Translation? State policy. To a state policy. And this is the first time that we are committed to elevate logistics as a state policy, sharing with other areas that we have to take care of, tourism, the agriculture, and the financial services. And that's why we are so proud of it. And we are working very hard. And we are sharing with you this experience. In order to accomplish this, we need FDI, other than local investment. Yesterday afternoon, before I took the plane, maybe the day before yesterday, today Friday, Thursday afternoon, finally we launched our new figures of FDI. We reached $2,300 million on investment, which is the highest record we do have in our history, except in 2006 that we have a heavy operation. HSBC bought a local bank. But other than that, we are making this with the rest of the world. We are making this because we have the trust, the confidence of the investors that are coming to Panama and using Panama as a business platform. That is why a lot of new European businessmen are aware of what is happening in Latin America and are aware of that we can use Panama as a platform. But in order to make this possible, we last year opened our new investment agency, ProInvex, that is under the Vice Ministry of Foreign Trade, which is my vice ministry. And the ProInvex is an agency only focused on customer services. Only focused on customer service. We have a bunch of kids, because our kids, the older is 32 years. The average is the customer service relationship manager is like 26 years. They are fully bilingual, 2 or 3 languages. They want to eat the word. They want to show what is happening in Panama. They're willing to take care and run the extra mile to make this happen. And in ProInvex, the main function is to invite and cultivate FDI investment. FDI, which pretend to carry out their business in Panama, is a one-stop shop focused on communicate and assess the firms which are in the process of due diligence to invest in Panama, based on a concierge service and handled by, as I mentioned, dedicated relationship managers who put information in the customer relationship manager software and make the proper follow-up in order to make it possible. ProInvex is also responsible for deepening the knowledge of agricultural export markets and improving the image of Panama as a reliable and high-quality exporter. We participated 3 weeks ago, Ambassador, in the Fruit Logistica, and the idea is to keep the business running. Not it's only to make it, put a stand and blah, 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 and no. It's touch the people and make them the follow-up. And well, that's all for the moment. Thank you for your time. I want to finalize, as our president said, welcome to Panama. We are open for business. Please, thank you very much.